Aerial footage released by the U.S. Geological Survey showed the main front of the lava flow was 3.2 miles or 5.2 kilometers away from the Daniel K. Inouye Highway, also known as Saddle Road, and could possibly reach it in a week. But the agency also said that because of the unpredictable nature of lava flows, it's difficult to estimate when or if the flow will impact the highway, which is the island's main east-west road. Mauna Loa has been spewing lava for more than a week since it erupted on November 27. Mauna Loa rises 13,679 feet or 4,169 meters above the Pacific Ocean and is part of a chain of volcanoes that form the islands of Hawaii. It last erupted in 1984. An eruption of Italy's Stromboli volcano on December 4th, located on the Sicilian island on the same name, was severe enough for the country's Civil Protection Department to raise the alert level to orange. Video released on social media showed smoke emitting from the volcano along with thermal images of the volcano's lava flow during the eruption. The orange alert allows experts to monitor the situation more closely as the lava flow heads towards the coastline. According to a statement from Civil Protection, authorities have urged the local population to follow relevant safety instructions. On December 4th, Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology recorded an earthquake of 4.6 magnitude in the Mediterranean Sea south of the volcano. The Department of Civil Protection has also warned that this has caused a small tsunami with waves 1.5 meter high, so that the warning alarms have sounded on the island. At least 33 people died when a landslide buried a bus in northwestern Colombia on Sunday, and 9 have been rescued alive, the Interior Minister said. The landslide caused by strong rains hit the vehicle between the villages of Pueblo Rico and Santa Cecilia in Risaralda province, about 230 kilometers or 140 miles northwest of the capital, Bogota. Interior Minister Alfonso Prada explained his party has already found 33 people dead, including 3 minors, and has rescued 9 people alive. 4 of them are in a critical condition. Colombia's President Gustavo Petro described the incident as a tragedy in a Twitter message. The bus was traveling from Cali, Colombia's 3rd largest city, to the municipality of Condoto in Choco province. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper on Monday warned of a new level of threat after this weekend's gunfire attacks on 2 electrical substations that left almost an entire county in the freezing dark.
Schools in Moore County will be closed for a second day on Tuesday, and 38,000 households were still without power amid freezing nighttime temperatures after the Saturday shootings that Cooper called criminal attacks. Utility workers investigating the outages over the weekend found gates broken and evidence of gunfire damage to equipment at 2 substations in Moore County, an area popular with tourists and known for golf resorts, including Pinehurst, which has hosted the U.S. Open and Ryder Cup tournaments. Federal agencies, including the FBI and the U.S. Department of Energy, are investigating the shootings, along with local and state law enforcement. So far, none have suggested a motive and no arrests have been announced.
You are still watching Focus Today, and this is the sports highlights. President Joko Widodo officially opened the 8th Wushu Junior World Championship, or WJWC 2022, a sporting event expected to bridge friendship between nations. The 8th WJWC is being held at ICE Bumi Serpong Damai, or BSD Tangerang, Banten from 5 to 11 December 2022. This championship is attended by 800 participants from 60 countries and 2 regionals. Furthermore, President Jokowi hopes that this event will strengthen the friendship between nations, in addition to achieve the main goal for all delegates to give its best performance to win the championship medal. This year, Indonesia, as the host, sent a total of 23 athletes, comprising of 12 Taulu number athletes and 11 others for Sanda number. Indonesia targets to snatch 6 gold medals in the event. Badminton world champions Victor Axelsen, Yamaguchi Akane, and Cheng Siwei, Wang Yaqiong respectively took home the male player, female player, and pair of the year awards in Bangkok, Thailand on Monday.
Axelsen and Yamaguchi are also the respective world number 1 players in each of their categories, while Cheng and Huang have reached at least the semi-finals at all 11 of their major tournaments this year, winning 9 titles.
Kita yang berada di pengungsian. Pada dasarnya ini sudah kita tindak lanjuti. Demikian mungkin yang bisa kami sampaikan. Terima kasih. Terima kasih. Mungkin.
Ya, saudara, itulah tadi keterangan pers yang disampaikan oleh Asisten 1 Cianjur, Jawa Barat, Budi Rahayu Thoyib, terkait dengan penanganan pasca gempa Cianjur yang terjadi beberapa minggu yang lalu. Ada 46.000 lebih rumah rusak dengan sejumlah kategori. Rumah rusak berat, yakni 11.000 lebih, rumah rusak sedang 13.000 lebih, rumah rusak ringan 22.000 lebih, serta sejumlah infrastruktur lain yang dinyatakan rusak, seperti halnya sekolah, terdapat 540 sekolah, fasilitas kesehatan 18 unit, dan juga gedung perkantoran 17 unit, saudara. Sebelumnya, Kementerian PUPR
Croatia, as Croatian fans braved the cold in Zagreb on Monday to watch their team beat Japan in a penalty shootout after a thrilling match.
Supporters of the Samurai Blue hid their faces in their hands as they watched the defeat unfold in Shibuya, Tokyo. The famous Shibuya Scramble crossing, which saw riotous celebrations after Japan shot Germany and Spain in the group stage, was deserted, with police outnumbering fans willing to brave the rain and cold temperatures. Japan's men's team had hoped to reach the World Cup quarterfinals for the first time in their history, but were denied by Croatia's second-half equalizer and subsequent penalty shootout victory. After the shootout, supporters erupted in the Croatian capital, dancing, chanting, and lighting flares. Igor Lončarik, a Zagreb resident, was relieved because he admits that penalty shootouts are a lottery. Katarina Perica, who found the match too tense, felt the same way. Croatia won 2 shootouts in their way to the 2018 World Cup final in Russia, but at the Al Janoub Stadium, a new generation got their chance to shine. For the third time in history, the World Cup finalists will advance to the quarterfinals. Japan fails to advance past the round of 16. In their previous 3 World Cup last 16 appearances, they were defeated by Turkey, Paraguay, and Belgium.
On Monday, Brazil delighted fans while terrifying potential opponents by ripping through South Korea with 4 first-half goals to secure a hugely impressive 4-1 victory. Brazil fans were upbeat after watching their team defeat South Korea in the World Cup last 16 match in Doha.
After 7 minutes, Rapinoe's low cross found Vicinius Jr., who expertly lifted the ball above the charging goalkeeper and 3 defenders. 5 minutes frightened potential opponents. Brazil, who had failed to score in the first half of any match this tournament, made amends with 4 goals before the break. South Korean fans said they will leave with their heads held high, having scored at least 1 goal against the South American giants. Brazil will face Croatia after defeating Japan in a penalty shootout earlier in the day in Al Wakra, Qatar.
The 2022 World Cup in Qatar is now entering the round of last 16. Kylian Mbappe of France is temporarily top scorer in the 2022 World Cup after booking 2 goals during the match against Poland on Sunday, 4th December 2022. Who are the top scorers in the 2022 World Cup so far? Let's have a look. Prior to their round of 16 clash with Switzerland, Portugal took to the training pitch on Monday, December 5th, with a spot in the quarterfinals of the World Cup at stake. On Tuesday, December 6th, Portugal will face the Swiss, a team they played this year with mixed fortunes, defeating them 4-0 in June before losing 1-0 the week after. Speculation regarding the future of Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo and his outburst following his substitution against South Korea were in sharp focus on Monday. Coach Fernando Santos refused to comment on Ronaldo. Majlis rather than a stadium. Qatari Khalid Al Binali welcomes soccer fans from around the world to his Majlis, a gathering place near his home where he serves free food and drinks. matches can also be watchers on a large screen. According to his son Abdullah, because their house is next to Khalifa International Stadium, people assume the sitting room is associated with the stadium. Meanwhile, the hashtag invite them to your majlis has gained traction on Twitter, with Qataris sharing their hospitality online. Turkish bomb sniffer dogs participate in a World Cup safety drill in Qatar.
Turkish Defense Ministry released video of a military bomb squad carrying out drills in Doha as part of international efforts to contribute to maintaining security at FIFA 2022 World Cup. Turkey sent more than 3,000 security officers to Qatar for the 2022 World Cup and also trained Qatari personnel ahead of the competition. In addition to the 3,000 riot police and other personnel on hand for the World Cup, authorities said 100 members of a special forces unit, 50 bomb detection dogs and their handlers, and 50 bomb experts and other personnel had been dispatched to Qatar. In recent years, Turkey and Qatar have strengthened ties with Ankara, supporting Doha in its dispute with other Gulf states, and the two countries frequently cooperating on commercial and economic issues.
We're back on Focus Today. Here is the next update. The Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy has launched 100 domestic tour packages to achieve the target of 1.4 billion Indonesians traveling across the archipelago by 2023.
Minister of Tourism and Creative Economy Sandiaga Uno says the 100 domestic tour packages, or Pak Wisnu, are the follow-up of President Joko Widodo's instruction to encourage Indonesians to travel across the country. Sandiaga also says his ministry has coordinated with 34 provincial administrations, in which each province will send 3 bus tour packages to add to the Christmas and New Year holiday season this year. The minister adds 80% of the targeted 1.4 billion domestic tourists will be travelers on the Java Island, including Central Java, as it has the Borobudur Temple, one of Indonesia's super priority tourist destinations. The Central Java administration has then proposed 3 tour packages in the area, including Mount Lawu trip, tour to Solo by jeep, and the Wali Songo pilgrim tour.
On December 5th, a zoo at the heart of Mexico's capital debuted one playful black jaguar cub. The 4-month-old cub was raised by Chapultepec Zoo staff in Mexico City after its mother, a 3-year-old female, rejected it after birth. Rafael Tinajero, Director of Conservation and Animal Welfare at Mexico City's Department of Zoos and Wildlife Conservation, stated that the cub is healthy and eating properly. According to Tinajero, the little cub will soon be placed in gardens and other zoo enclosures so it can begin interacting, climbing, and doing the natural activities of jaguars. Jaguars are listed as an endangered species in Mexico. Official figures shows that efforts to increase the number of jaguars in the country have been successful. With a reported 20% increase in jaguar numbers in 2018, there are approximately 4,000 jaguars in the wild in Mexico. The primary threats to Mexico's jaguar population are habitat destruction and hunting. Christie's New York is aglitter with dazzling gems and sparkling stones as the auction house prepares for its final live jewelry auction of 2022. Necklaces, rings, brooches, and bracelets from the Georgian and Art Deco periods to contemporary designers are included in the Magnificent Jewels sale. The top lot is a fancy blue diamond necklace valued between $10 million and $15 million. The fancy blue modified brilliant cut diamond is 31.62 carats. The necklace also features round diamonds and pink diamonds, as well as platinum and rose gold. Another sale highlight is a Cartier diamond palm tree brooch. It features a 13.30 carat circular brilliant cut diamond, as well as marquee, baguette, round and single cut diamonds, platinum and 18K white gold. The brooch, which was created in 1948, is expected to sell for between 500,000 US dollars and 800,000 US dollars. The magnificent jewels auction will be held on December 6th. South African officials and scientists celebrated a milestone towards building the world's largest radio astronomy instrument, which is co-hosted with Australia and aims to unlock mysteries of the universe. The construction launch outside the remote town of Carnarvon, Northern Cape, marks the next stage in the development of a complex instrument aimed at revealing events since the cosmic dawn. When the first stars and galaxies form, South Africa announced that it will add 133 dishes to its 64-dish Meerkat radio telescope to form SCOMET in the next phase of developing a so-called Square Kilometer Array, or SKA. Meerkat, which will be incorporated into SCOMET, has delivered images of phenomena including stellar nurseries and the chaotic region around the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy, some 25,000 light years from Earth. As Christmas approaches, children in the Czech Republic are not just excited, but also a little nervous as they wait for Saint Nicholas to arrive. Meanwhile, the Royal Ballet is once again enchanting audiences with festive favorite, The Nutcracker, this holiday season, with performances beginning at the Royal Opera House in London this week.
Czech children know him as Mikuláš, dressed in red and white robes holding a thick gilded staff. Costumed trios dressed as Mikuláš, an angel, and the devil visit homes to reward good behavior with sweets and less angelic behavior with a lump of coal or a potato. Children can appease Saint Nicholas by writing a poem or singing a song in the hopes that he will not tell stories about their misbehavior. The Nutcracker, one of the world's most famous ballets, is a Christmas-time staple for many ballet companies. Similar to composer Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky's well-known score. It was first performed in St. Petersburg in 1892 and follows young heroine Clara as she falls asleep and enters a dream world. This year marks the event's first return to normalcy after 2 Christmas seasons were disrupted by the COVID pandemic. The Royal Ballet's The Nutcracker will be performed from December 6th to January 14th, 2023.
And up next is a weather report from cities all around the world for tomorrow's weather. Here they are. Let's see, here in Southeast Asia, we see Bangkok and Hanoi in a mostly cloudy condition for tomorrow. As for Jakarta, is a thunderstorm condition for tomorrow. Again, in Southeast Asia, we see Vientiane in a mostly sunny state and Yangon in a mostly cloudy state for tomorrow. We are here in Asia, where Beijing, Hong Kong, and Pyongyang is in a mostly sunny state for tomorrow. It's a beautiful weather tomorrow. South Asia, we see Dhaka and also Lahore in a thunderstorm condition for tomorrow. We travel to Australia, we see Melbourne and Brisbane in a mostly cloudy condition for tomorrow, as the same with Canberra. Let's head to New Zealand. We see Christchurch in a mostly sunny state and Darwin in a mostly cloudy condition for tomorrow. Traveling to Middle East, we see Doha and Mecca in a sunny state for tomorrow. Here we are in Europe. We see Amsterdam in a mostly rainy condition for tomorrow and London in a mostly cloudy condition for tomorrow. Still in Europe, we see Stockholm in a mostly cloudy condition, same as Paris for tomorrow. In North America, we see Chicago and Los Angeles in a mostly cloudy condition for tomorrow. In Africa, we see Cape Town and Algiers in a mostly cloudy state for tomorrow. Lumajang administration set an emergency response for 14 days post Mount Semeru's eruption last December 4th. Post Mount Semeru's eruption last December 4th, Lumajang Region Thorikul Hak called an emergency response for 14 days following the Center of Volcanology and Geological Hazard Mitigation or PVMBG decision in raising Mount Semeru's status from level 4 or alert. Thorik mentioned that emergency response imposed to handle the disaster, such setting up refugee shelters and public kitchen on a number of locations around Mount Semeru. Meantime, 1,979 local residents evacuated to 11 locations following Mount Semeru volcanic ashfall and the increasing volcanic activity. Pilaf is a staple delicacy in Xinjiang where guests are often treated to it. It is also a prominent dish served on holidays and celebrations for ethnic groups such as the Uyghur and Uzbek people. A scholar named Abu Ali Ibn Sina is credited with making pilaf to improve his health, for he felt weak in his old age and had failed to improve it by taking drugs. Using carrot, rice, lamb, and onion as the main ingredients, he cooked pilaf with edible oil, and by having it regularly, he found his health improve. So now let's have a look.
Far from the ocean, 60% of the land is covered by desert. Yet none of this can prevent people from planting rice. Even along the rim of the desert, people will still find a way to plant rice. Perhaps it's because rice is scarce and hard to grow that people here regard it as super important. After summer vacation, Haas, a high school graduate, is going to college. Haas likes rice. Pilaf has been her favorite food since childhood. Cooking a pot of simple pilaf not only needs rice and mutton, but also needs carrots. The carrots here are yellow. The carrot Haas is referring to is the most common type. Carrots were domesticated near Afghanistan over 1,000 years ago. In Haas's hometown, Laisu, there are only yellow carrots, which have a longer history than the orange type. Yellow carrots have a less dense and watery texture. They are sweeter and can be stored for longer. The traditional pilaf of southern Xinjiang must be cooked with yellow carrots. Pilaf isn't just a delicious dish. In the home of Xinjiang people, even the simplest pilaf can be a celebratory food, which separates it from common dishes. Country chef Abra shows off his cooking skills on various occasions. When folks hold weddings or treat the whole village to pilaf, they ask him to be the chef. Compared with making samsa, he's even better at cooking big pots of pilaf. This pot is used to cook pilaf. It's thick and heavy. It has the depth of a stock pot. The bottom of the pot is like a frying pan. It's arched and easy to stir-fry mutton and carrots. Abra controls the heat with experience. With big logs, the heat grows more intense. Abra uses it in stir-frying. In recent years, orange carrots began to appear in southern Xinjiang. Orange carrots are watery. They have a stronger celery-like flavor and gives the pilaf a better color. More and more chefs began cooking pilaf with carrots of both colors. Next is to control the proportion of water. It will decide the taste of the pilaf. First, scoop out the boiled soup. Put rice on the carrots with great care. And don't stir. Stirring will not only gelatinize the rice and turn it sticky, but make the grains sink to the bottom of the pot and become scorched. Put the soup back into the pot. Whether the grains will turn out soft or hard depends half on the water and half on the heat. When the rumbling lessens, the flames can be lowered. Gently turn the rice up from below. Stirred well, and then stew. The whole pot of rice will be evenly cooked. Finally, sprinkle a layer of raisins. Cover the pot. The residual heat will stew the rice slowly. From the south to the north in Xinjiang, the varieties of pilaf are endless. However, there's a widely recognized standard. The grains of rice must be round as pearls and smooth as jade and separate easily. It should taste firm and bouncy.
Visions of Peace of VOP celebrates its 5th anniversary at the Golden Dome Mosque in Depok, West Java, attended by orphans, people with disabilities, students, and Islamic seminarians for peace, as well as national leaders who were present physically and virtually.
Visions of Peace Initiative, or VOP, held an International Peace Summit at Mansion Resort in Ubud, Bali on November 1st to 2nd, 2022. In the event, VOP launched the Peace 20, or the P20, from Indonesia to the world. Addressing the celebration of its 5th anniversary, Peace 20 chairman and VOP founder, Prince Dr. Damien Damatra, said the celebration is a form of gratitude for VOP nomination as the 2022 Nobel Peace Prize nominee. Visions of Peace Initiative comes with a vision to be vehicle to facilitate young generation to spread peace and tolerance through arts and creative means. Until now, by holding creative events in more than 64 cities in Indonesia, VOP has reached hundreds of thousands of children and youth across the country.
There you have it. Visions of Peace VOP is celebrating the 5th anniversary this year. The organization has been organizing numerous events across Indonesia since establishment in 2017, promoting peace, interreligious harmony, tolerance, and solidarity. The organization was also nominated for the 2022 Nobel Peace Prize. Now, to know more about the organization and its activities, let us talk with the international founder of VOP. We got Princess Cheryl Halpern, and Executive Director of VOP, Princess Natasha Dematra, is here with us today, this afternoon. How are you, Princess Cheryl?
Oh, thank God, doing well. Flew in yesterday.
Yeah.
To be here with you today.
Thank you so much for being here. And how are you, Princess Natasha?
I'm good. So good to be here.
Yes. So, if I'm not mistaken, I have been counting the days since we last meet. We last meet on 6th of July, and here we are 5 months later, exactly 6th of December 2022. Talking again. And it is your 5th anniversary of VOP. So can you update me and also the watchers today on TVRI World, Princess Cheryl and Princess Natasha, what are the updates that we have to know that you have done about VOP and about the world? Go ahead. Cheryl first and then Natasha.
Well, since we met in July,
Yeah.
unfortunately, we did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. But
Okay, yeah.
you have to understand,
Yeah.
we have the conflict between Russia and the Ukraine,
Yes.
and that conflict, which definitely is a priority.
Yes.
So, but who knows? Please God, we can be renominated.
Yes,
for
of
the
course.
Nobel Peace
Of course.
Prize.
Next year, yes.
There we go.
Okay.
But what was important since July,
Mm-hmm.
in recognition of what we have done here in Indonesia,
Yes.
with Indonesia presiding over the G20,
Uh-huh.
the Visions of Peace Initiative was invited to create a peace initiative
Okay.
that would complement what the G20 was going to do. So in October, we actually launched the Peace 20,
Right.
which was an international summit based on the Golden Rule, the do to others as you would want to have done to yourself,
Yes.
which is the core pillar upon which the Visions of Peace Initiative is founded. And it was an incredible experience in Bali.
Wow. Glad to know. October, you got the Peace 20 for Peace Initiative. So that is one from Cheryl. How about you, Natasha? What updates can we know from you?
After October, when we
Yeah.
went to Bali for the Peace 20, last week, Visions of Peace went to Cianjur
Okay.
for the we make the Visions of Peace there. We work together with other refugees to create their visions of a peaceful for tomorrow, and they all was very wonderful. They were very wonderful, and we were very touched by them because. They lost their parents, they lost their homes, but they were still happy, just a happy child. And we just very moved. And it was all the idea of Princess Cheryl. Just said we have to do it in Cianjur.
Well, but if you think about it, it really was the manifestation of the Golden Rule,
Yes.
the ethic of reciprocity, to do unto another as you would want to have done to yourself. And if, God forbid, we were dealing with loss or grief,
Yes.
wouldn't we want to know that others cared for us?
Yes.
And I do believe that for these children, particularly those that are recently orphaned, to be with other young people
Yeah.
who are expressing their concern, their love, their kindness,
Yes.
that support will never be forgotten.
Yes.
So it really validated, for lack of a better word, the mission of the Visions of Peace Initiative.
Yes. Thank you so much for being there, Princess Cheryl and Natasha, in Cianjur. If you can tell about your personal experience there, furthermore, can you explain what happened there?
Well, I'm going to correct you for
Yes.
a single point.
Yes.
I suggested to
The idea.
Natasha.
The idea was all Cheryl. Cheryl said we have to do it in Cianjur.
Okay.
We have to go to the refugees camp and do
Okay.
Visions of Peace there. But it was the idea. But then now Cheryl came and said that, wow, it was when we told Cheryl that it was very moving.
Yes.
The children was very happy.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the thoughts and
But-
kind words.
I mean, really, from the heart,
Yes.
how can you not be touched?
Yes. Thank you so much, VOP. Now, this year, let's go back to about the celebrating its 5th anniversary. Congratulations. Could you please explain about VOP in brief and what are its activities for watchers who are watching at the moment? Cheryl and then Natasha.
Well, the Visions of Peace started as a concept designed to address what was perceived as a degree of extremism
Yes.
that was coming into Indonesia. And I'm Granny Cheryl to the Dimatra family.
Yes.
And I was concerned, how is my grandson going to be affected by extremism, by suicide bombings, by violence? So together with Prince Damien Dimatra and Princess Natasha, we came up with an idea to really listen to the youth. They are the future leaders of Indonesian society and every society.
Yes.
Listen to their fears, their concerns, and then also listen to their expressions of what they perceive a peaceful tomorrow to be. And that's how we began, never really anticipating the incredible embrace by teachers, faculty, administrators, government officials, celebrities, parents. I mean, it just grew exponentially to where we're now celebrating a 5th anniversary, having touched several 100,000 young people. I mean, it's humbling.
It's very, very humbling.
Yes.
If we can change one child's perspective, it was very worth it. But now we have moved forward and everything. It's already several 100,000 people.
Okay. Now, if I were to ask you, Princess Natasha, in this 5th year of anniversary, is there any personal moving stories of yours that you can share with us here at this moment that you can remember?
Well, actually, it was last week when we went to Cianjur for going to the refugees. I asked one of the child and I said, so how are you? And they said that, I'm okay, I'm very happy. Why are you happy right now? And then the little child was saying, I'm very happy because you guys came to us. We were very happy because yesterday we were very sad. And then in that moment, I realized, wow, we have to do this more. We have to move all the children, bring hope to them that they have future and everything. Despite all the darkness that's coming to them right now, we hope we can bring light. Even it's just little light, we hope we can bring them happiness.
With that kind of story, you have bring them joy.
Yes.
So thank you for that, Princess Natasha and Cheryl. Now, how about this, Cheryl? Was there any specific reason or incident or occurrence that motivated the establishment of VOP?
Well, go back in time with me.
Yeah.
Indonesia has a motto that basically celebrates unity. And in order to have unity, you need respect for diversity. And that's why you have interfaith respect within the Republic. But you had a importation of extremism, of radicalism here. And you had occurrences where children wearing suicide vests would go into a church, for example, and during a service, blow themselves up together with the congregants.
Yes.
How can you not respond to that? And again, looking as Granny Cheryl to my family here in Indonesia, these are my fears. You know, you can't be silent, but what are the options? How do you engage with children so that they understand that there's an alternative to violence, that you need to speak to each other respectfully and disagree respectfully. But we're all God's children, and we need to remember humankind, one human race, is you and me and Natasha and everyone. And that was part of the motivation.
Yes. And that's why we call ourselves humankind, because we have kindness to share with others.
Well said. Thank you.
So much, Princess Cheryl. Okay, how about you, Natasha? I mean, 5 years of being in a VOP family, what can you share with us about the golden rule that Granny Cheryl had said. Yes. What are the practices? Please indulge us again.
Well, I mean, after going for 5 years, going to VOPs with many, like about 63 cities. We've been to 63 cities, and I
Okay.
think we're going to move forward. We hope so.
Okay.
I learned that the most important thing is that we have to find peace within ourselves, and then we can bring it to others.
Okay.
When we have to know that we are humankind, like you
Yes.
said, that we are a human that is born with love and kindness. We have to know that we have to spread it, and by spreading it, we have to find it within ourselves, and we can share it with other people. But
Yes.
sometimes it's not that easy. It's not that easy to find peace within ourselves. So we can just share peace with other people, then we
Yes.
can find peace within ourselves as well.
Yes.
Just anywhere, just where we can find peace. I hope we can inspire many people with that.
Well, I mean, for 5 years listening to Granny Cheryl talking, I found this inner peace within me just within 5 minutes. Granny Cheryl. So.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so how about the agenda, the next VOP agenda? As you guys will head along to the holidays, is there any other agendas that you would like to share with us as a VOP member, Granny Cheryl?
Well, ideally, the violence that is rising among youth today globally needs to be addressed in every country.
Yep.
So, to the extent that there are countries that have subsequently reached out to talk to us to see how within the educational department or ministry,
Yes.
for example, Saudi Arabia, can civics and civility
Yes.
be included based on the foundations of the Golden Rule?
Okay.
Because the Golden Rule is a universal value that's existed in every faith as a pillar of respect, tolerance, and dignity. So as more and more countries and people are aware of what we're doing here in Indonesia, it's my prayer going forward that others will use this experience as a role model to replicate as appropriate within their own countries. And please God, let peaceful coexistence be improved as we go forward into 2023.
Yes. That is a message that I, myself, me and you, watchers, will remember. Let peace be coexisted and let there be peace in 2023. Forward. So that is our talks with Princess Cheryl and Princess Natasha. Thank you for being here
Oh,
for Visions of Peace VOP. Let us follow the golden rule. And that wraps up today's edition of Focus Today. Let's comply with the health protocols to keep us and our loved ones safe. Stay peaceful. My name is Narendra Pawaka. Have a great evening and goodbye.